Welcome back again. The Comic Zone. I'm Charles, as always. I always forget to do the introduction stuff when it's the introduction time, so today I'm going to do it the right way today. So I'm Charles. This is the Comic Zone. It happens live on Twitch, and then it lives on YouTube afterwards. So if you're watching on Twitch right now, you're in the chat. Good to see you. Nice to see you. This will live on YouTube afterwards if you want to catch up, if you've seen some of your favorite artists, new artists in here. You can relive the magic on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you could be watching this live on Twitch, where you could be in the chat, asking questions, saying what stuff you like, and having a generally pretty good time. So today is the part 3, the final part of the pickups from ZINE Party November 2024. So I've got a selection of things here. Boy, it's a pretty thick stack. I'm a little nervous when I see this. We're gonna try and get through this in well under an hour if we can. I've been trying to do these as a little bit more focused, streamlined, and quicker episodes, but more focused in on the smaller selection of books I have here rather than having a huge pile of books. First, we'll talk about the Shelf Life Books and CommunityWise ZINE Party, which takes place now twice a year. There's a spring and a fall edition. As always, one thing I'll mention is if you like what you see here, if it's your new favorite artist, you can always follow off to my side here. I'll always have the information. It's almost always Instagram, but you can always go there and then find your platform of choice. As Funny Bunny says, you recognize something on the stack here. We'll get to it. So the Shelf Life and CommunityWise ZINE Party is a great collaboration between Shelf Life Books and a nonprofit by the name of CommunityWise that does a lot of really good community support work in the sort of Beltline area of Calgary. So I've been very fortunate to be able to be showing with them at several events over the last couple of years. And this was no different. Got to see a lot of old friends, meet some new friends. And now, as Funny Bunny has already seen in the chat, something we're going to do here, which we sometimes do around here, is we're going to start with some flagrant self-promotion. I realized I hadn't had a chance to show off the printed books that I did for Ganky. So these were our issues. We did this one in 2022, this one in 2022 as well. We did these ones almost back to back. The artwork and the writing was done by Gord on these ones. I did the cover for this one called Admission. Our friend Steve Gervais did the beautiful, vibrant cover of Erasure. But this is brand new. This is Ganky One Word. It was all created live on Twitch. I had done the writing beforehand, but all of these sort of editing, some rewriting was happening, and all of the artwork and layout work was done live on Twitch, which was pretty fun to do. So our issues of Ganky, the reason I wanted to show this is it debuted due to some shipping snafus and printing snafus, did not debut at the show I thought it would, the Prairie Comic Fest in Winnipeg. It actually debuted at ZINE Party this year, which was kind of neat. And this is now actually in Shelf Life Books right now. You could pick this up in the Beltline of Calgary, or you can always hit me up as well. I've also got a digital version on my Gumroad store. But this, I wanted to show the printing turned out actually really well on this one here. I can't say, there were some printing snafus that happened with some of these, but this one kind of came out without a hitch. So the mini issues of Ganky are sort of one part info comic and one part opinion article. So it's a kind of unique thing we do. Gord is kind of really the one who spearheaded this sort of format, but I really loved what we came up with on the layout side when I was doing the layout. And so I had this one on the burner for a couple of years working on it, and then it's now become, it's come to fruition, and I am very proud of it. I was very happy to have this finally come out, finally see the light of day. And I did everything in here. Everything from the writing, the drawing, the layout was all by me. So that's this is a big milestone for me. Okay, flagrant self-promotion over. Now, let's get back to the main thing we got here. We've got a stack of books that I picked up at the zine party. And we're going to go through each one here. So we've got 4 pieces here from KD Faulkner. You may remember we've seen some things from KD before. There was a really great one called Estate. Oh my God. Estate. What was it called? It was so great. It was about like the whole relationship between landlords and landholders versus renters and buyers, and that idea of affordability crisis before we were really talking, before the affordability crisis was really hitting its fever pitch. It was something that KD was already latched onto. It was so amazing. I've got 4 new books from them. You can always follow them at Side of Stitch. This one's pretty great. We got one with Sonic the Hedgehog on it. If it's not perfect the first time, just give up. gotta go fast, gotta give up. Why is Sonic involved? Because the phenomenon that was the 2020s ugly Sonic will intrigue me forever. The design was so bad, but I'm so glad he existed as a testament to practice and embarrassment and the value of sharing a terrible project to get feedback before it's too late. If you remember from the first Sonic movie, that first design was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. Thanks for picking up my embarrassing work. KD, you're too tough on yourself. You have no idea how much I procrastinated making this stupid thing. I hope you enjoy it and learn something. 10,000 hours left to go before I'm good enough to start. If I do this enough times, I'll improve. If I never finish this because it's never perfect, it's also never ruined. It exists solely in my own head. Safe, where it can't be harmed. Safe, but no one else can enjoy it. No one can learn from it. I love that we're seeing the experimentations with all this all the way through. Is it worth the shame of sharing something imperfect? Even if it's sent back to be remade, torn to shreds, vision completely misunderstood? At least one other person knew it existed, and it will live on. Just kidding. Just start your dream project. It will be bad and so embarrassing, but you'll be okay. You really just need to start. This is awesome. I'm seeing more of these sorts of projects, and the message in these is perfect. We saw something similar from Kevin Stebner in a previous, I think it was some stuff I picked up either at Starry Dynamo or at Zine Party last year. He had a zine very similar. This is basically that idea of you have to start. You have to just jump into it. If it turns out shitty the first time, you learn so much. And by putting it out there, you're actually priming yourself for the bigger successes that you'll see later on. I know that's something, I've talked about in my own work, is that I procrastinated for so long on some projects. It's multiple decades of procrastination, to where I felt could be a positive, because when I finally did it, I had ruminated on it so much, it's coming out better than I expected. But I always still say the biggest regrets in my life are the times of procrastinated, how much I procrastinated on creative work and not made those missteps and those failures and put out embarrassing work, because at least then I would have been doing it And who knows where I'd be here 20 years later on some of this stuff. So KD, I think, has the right idea. Just do it. Just jump on it. Even if it's embarrassing, who cares? Put it out there. Put it out there. Make your project. I said last stream that we did from Serena's work that we were going to see another Pikmin Bloom piece here. Here it is. Here's the one I was talking about. Hey, you gotta play Pikmin Bloom. Oh, and look. The thing I love about these Pikmin Bloom ones, even though I don't know what Pikmin Bloom is, I haven't touched it myself, is we get these absolutely adorable and perfect little drawings of little cute Pikmin. It's fun, easy, and free. I've been playing on and off again since November of 2021. I'm level 42 as of September 4th, 2024 at least. If you read this in the future, I'm probably even better now. I sure hope I am anyways. To date, I've walked 886,562 steps or something. Oh, I love that. This is great. Here's your frequently asked questions about Pikmin Bloom. Is it like Pokemon Go? Sort of. It's a game where you walk around with Nintendo characters, sure, but it requires you to look at your phone way less. Any major gameplay can be done post-walk. Is it like the classic Pikmin games? Well, I've never played them, but it doesn't seem similar at all. There are no monsters or puzzles, just mushrooms you can send the Pikmin to passively attack for prizes. Mostly you send them on retrieval missions to get more seedlings and nectar. Why should anyone play it? It has a nice passive gameplay loop that utilizes in real life map data to give you different decor Pikmin based on where you've been. It's a great motivation to explore new parts of the city and walk a little more. Seeing what decorations your Pikmin will bring home after you hit 4 friendship hearts is my favorite part, and that's what this zine is all about. Cool. I feel like I understand a little bit better what this is, which is, I think, a great goal here. Oh, look at these drawings. Look at these cute, cute ones. So quite similar to what we saw with Serena's piece, we're getting to see their favorite Pikmin and also sharing how many steps they've walked together. I think that's cool. Something that, you know, as somebody who lives a far too sedentary lifestyle, anything that gets you out and walking and exploring your environment, there's literally no downside to that. I think it took her a full week to bring back this shell from Vancouver to Calgary. This was found on Kitsilano Beach in Vancouver in 2021, out in Kits. My one and only beach decor Pikmin. As you can imagine, I don't get out the beach as much. Yeah, we're pretty landlocked here. They walked 66,000 steps together. This one was discovered studying and slaying at ComXone shortly after I started playing in 2021. Roadside decor is the most common type, kind of the default if Niantic's map data doesn't detect anything in particular. Of the 25 variants I've found over the years, the little K earring is my favorite. And they've walked almost 30,000 steps together. Oh, look at this badass one. Got the emo swoop, but it's a leaf. I like that. This special edition, look at that one. That's great. This special edition was found rolling around the Catalyst Asset. I actually don't know what Catalyst Asset is. August 16, 2022. I don't even remember what the event was that earned me this tech deck baby, but this is the only one I got. I hope they bring them back. They've walked 101,000 steps through the shadows together. This one picked her fresh from Planet Organic. Oh, okay. I love that it reflects where you were. So being at a Planet Organic, you get this this banana peel. They've walked 82,000 steps together. Of all the grocery store Pikmin, the banana-themed ones are the best, and she's the MVP of the whole bunch. The peel even wiggles with her. She's so stinking cute. I love these illustrations. This one here was found slaying outside the Lululemon in 2021. Look at that. Look at us strutting. We've strutted 47,000 steps together. Fancy. This one here is found floating down the Bow River pathway, which is quite beautiful if you've never seen it. 2022. 161,000 wet little steps together with a little fishing lure. I have a soft spot for the white Pikmin. I just love their big red fruit fly eyes. Oh, and here's an Oscar the Grouch. Good looking one. I love this. Found at a Burger King in 2022. Don't tell this guy, but I kind of hate him. He just tracks wasps like crazy. Been together for 204,000 sticky steps. Well, now get out of your rotten bed and play with me. There you go. Cool. Oh my gosh, look how cute that is. These are just adorable. Thanks a bunch. I make a bunch of junk, which is not junk at all. Go look at it. It's Cyto Stitch. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. We got 2 more here from them. We've got issue number 1 of Fixation. Beautiful cover. Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. What is it? The Mystery Flesh Pit National Park is a world-building project created by incredible and terrifying mind of Trevor Roberts. I've never heard of it before. Very interesting. So this is based on this Trevor Roberts' work of doing world building. I always love these sorts of things. Sometimes you stumble across these things you haven't really heard of. There was a really interesting book that I found in Vancouver when Gord and I were out there researching for our next graphic novel, and it was the same sort of thing. It was sort of a picture book of sort of this explored planet and its flora and fauna, and this reminds me of that. This is cool. It's neat to see a sort of fanzine that's based on that. So Trevor Roberts' work details an immeasurably vast organic creature that was discovered underground in Gumption, Texas. This discovery was initially made by oil man Jim Jackson and later taken over by commercial mining company Anodyne in the late 70s. The inside of this creature was soon after explored, mined for biological resources, and eventually mapped and turned into a national park. The explorable park was open from the late 70s until a disaster in 2007 resulted in its closure. Roberts conveys story details through recovered objects, found paperwork, and signage from the presently fictionally defunct park. I was introduced to the concept of the park from Wendigoon's video essay, which goes over a rough outline of the story so far. Roberts runs a website, mysteryfleshpitnationalpark.com. Okay. And a merch store. Wow. Ooh, yeah, I like this. Can you imagine trekking through miles of undulating flesh deep underground in the darkness, the heat, the smell? How long has this thing been down here? Is the whole planet flesh? How far down does it go? What has it been eating? I'm afraid to find out. What strikes me the most about Trevor Roberts' work is the hubris of man and the gross display of consumerism in the park. The main features of the park require guests to traverse inside the flesh beast. This is done via an elevator lift that can take up to 20 minutes to descend to the lower visitor center. Down there, one can enjoy all the amenities of the resort, gift shops, McDonald's, and spa. Ooh, like a flesh spa? Anything a vacationer could desire, all suspended by wires dug into the flesh of an eldritch horror. I love the visitor center. I love how arrogant its construction was. I love that it eventually gets destroyed. How do they receive shipments? Is there a specific loading chute separate from the main chute? How do you convince teens to serve ice cream all summer at the Baskin Robbins, conveniently located inside a monster? Yeah, the logistics. I'm a big logistics guy, and I love hypothetical logistics. This idea of like, how would you run a theme park, basically, an amusement, an attraction inside the carcass of a monster? That's one thing that's cool about a show like Pacific Rim, is it actually went into some of those logistics, like the black market trade of pieces of these kaiju. And this is similar. This has a similar feel, like the commercialization, the commodified use of an eldritch horror. It's awesome. Moreover, any world building that includes a Chili's to look over the vast horror of a mystery flesh pit is a fantastic world to play in. What about the poor staff serving there? How many times a day do you figure they need to politely laugh, smile, and reassure some hilarious old man? No, sir, we don't source our meat from the flesh pit. Something else I love about the pit mythos is that it existed and was open to the public during my lifetime. Roberts has a few story points about how the flesh pit has an economic and inventive impact on the world at large. But other than a few fictional products including pit components, there's nothing to say that the rest of the world didn't just continue on as normal. You see that sort of thing with the idea of even like a show like Ghostbusters, and I feel like the new Ghostbusters have glossed over the fact that like the world should have changed once you were able to prove the existence of something like that. Like think of what's so fascinating about the entire H.P. Lovecraft universe and eldritch horrors is that when people come across them, they literally go mad because it's so unfathomable to our limited existence. So I love the idea that this one turns that on its head and says like, no, we would become blasé about it, because chances are, you look at the way the world is now and what we put up with and what we accept, we're able as a species to be pretty blasé about a lot of things. Continue. One scenario I love picturing is a family with young kids in early 2005 or something, falling asleep on the way back from their annual mystery flesh pit trip, watching Shrek on their car DVD system, because of all the things that would have existed at the same time. I'm going to have to now seek this out. This is fascinating. There are far more horror and gore aspects of the park that I'm getting to here. Roberts does a great job of creating hauntingly believable photographs and infographics that I've not included here. The different wildlife inhabiting the pit is another creation I deeply love about the park. I've always had a soft spot for biohorror. The amalgamations that sometimes occur as a result of surface creatures being dragged down and assimilated by local fauna is fascinating and horrific. I am so intrigued. What adds to the unsettling nature of the story is that Roberts delivers this information in the driest way possible, as a tab in a very convincing trail guide, just stating not to feed these shambling abominations as to not prolong their suffering. This is what I love about fanzines. I had never heard of this, and now I am a fan. There's so much more to this story, and it's being added to all the time. I'd highly encourage you to check out the Mystery Flesh Pit for yourself and come explore the Funderground. This is amazing. I cannot wait to see the continuation of this series. There may be other ones out right now. I can't remember if I just picked up the first one when I did trades with KD, or if they were if I picked up what's out there, or if there were more of them. I can't remember. I'll have to catch up with KD hopefully this weekend at Starry Dynamo, happening on Saturday, November 30th. I can't wait to see though whether or not they exist yet or not. I can't wait to see more of this fixation series. This is one of the cool. This is one of the coolest fanzines I've seen. Really, like, gives me enough to understand what this thing is, but didn't go into exhaustive detail about everything. I don't feel like I know everything about it. Much like we saw with the Fin stuff from Serena last week. I want to know more now. I'm going to go seek out more of this. So if you're interested in finding out more about this, go check that out. First, follow KD. Follow KD. And then go look at the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. That's what I'm going to do. And the last one from KD that we have, a handwritten photojournal type style fanzine about blind box collectible toys called Vinyl Love. Beautiful. Great lettering, by the way, KD. The lettering is really awesome. I'm a sucker for good lettering. There's a store. I got all these cuties at a store in Chinook Mall called Token. Their stock changes fairly often, so I go about once a month to buy a couple at a time. Be warned though, the figures are about $15 to $20 each. You can do some real damage at Token. Disclaimer, because I love you. If you have an issue with spending, games of chance, FOMO, or completing collections, this guy. Just be careful getting into blind boxes. It's just for fun. Yeah, I cannot mess with blind boxes, but I appreciate that people are into them. Back in December 2022, I was recommended an unboxing video by Mayvu and was instantly hooked on these incredibly detailed toys. All at once, I needed desperately to touch and hold figurines of my own. Oh yeah, vinyl stuff, like you get that tactile feeling. Can I be honest? I fundamentally do not know how to play with toys. I'm much more interested in the feel and make of an object. I want to put them in my mouth. That sounds like the right way to play. I've seen a lot of people play that way. I'm very much, yeah, like the tactile feel of thing and seeing how it's made. That is something you can fall in love with. This fella was my first blind box baby. A lot of series have a main character which swaps out different costumes and roles. This one's called Plucky. Who, to be honest, Plucky as a character is fairly bland, but it makes it easier to mold them into new personas. I saw Mayvu unbox a different figure from the series and loved the detail and storytelling. I am a character designer with a degree. Oh yeah, so KD is a graduate of the character design and illustration program at Alberta University of the Arts. A lot of the people I see at these things, they are, and they're amazing. Like, I mean, look at this. My love got me this one for my birthday. I love the world building in this series. It does come with a tiny picture book, but it's not in English, so no lore for me. Most blind boxes come with a preview of all the possible little guys. They also come with an art card. Beautiful. This figure is very similar to the illustration style, but not every series is as faithful. Sweet Together is a collab between Sweet Bean and Instinct Toy. Okay. This box art was so enticing, I'm glad I took a chance on the series. No matter what design I got, I would have been happy. Even if I ever see them again, I'm sure to get another. Sweet Bean is a fave of mine. He just resembles a baby or a puppet or clown. Though I do wish he had a mouth. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's got the nose and eyes and rosy cheeks, but no mouth. Instinct Toy isn't a line I usually seek out, but I love its use of transparent plastic, sharp, icy shape language, and multicolored inset rhinestone eyes. Liquid Stage, the one to the right there, is a perfect mix of everything. Not sure if it comes through in this print, but his whole gooey body section is a see-through empty glob. Okay, so that's all translucent vinyl. It's cool, but some other figurines have shaker beads inside them. Oh, total missed opportunity. How did he get into this situation? Is Sweet Bean doing okay? Maybe he likes it. A mystery. Wild. Really wild. Camera does sometimes fail to really get in on this stuff. Oh my God, it's Amy. I gotta say, Amy is my favorite figurine. Gaze upon her grace. I'm obsessed with this character and this sculpt style, even the plastic used. It's excessively glossy and looks almost candy coated. I want to put her in my mouth so badly, but I won't for now. I love how globby this style is. It looks like she was sculpted from plasticine by hand. It makes this figure feel so honest and organic. It lights up my brain like nothing else. Yeah, wow. There's just a special kind of something about all the Amy figures that generally makes me ache for a peaceful, sweet girlhood, something I only got to half enjoy myself. I feel like Amy could give it back to me. Overall, I just think this art style translates so perfectly into glossy, globby little desk friends. She gives me gender envy somehow. She is so she, her. Amy manages to feel nostalgic and safe. Okay. My chest hurts a bit when I hold her. Yeah, so it's really firing some things in Katie's mind. I would love to have more of these designs. They all feel like my little sisters. I want to hold them. I want to protect them and their light. They feel like warm sunshine on my cheek. I wish I was an Amy Simmers figurine, safe and sweet in someone's gentle hands. Oh. I want to have a friend that never tires of me. So we start to touch on some of the things that's so great about zines here, really getting some vulnerability along with this. Too long, didn't read? I'm lonely. Oh. Like I opened with, I don't know how to play with toys. Even so, these little figures keep me company. They're my unchanging friends. Don't I deserve joy on my own terms? I think so. I also think so, Katie. What? Yeah, boy. This one takes some great turns. Goes from fanzine to being a bit like almost like a perzine, going into which is sort of like a personal zine. So really has some of that vulnerability there that I think zines do better than any other medium, if you ask me. The little fart poot here is pretty good too. Zine from me to you. I really hope you can read my messy handwriting. Let me know if you also collect toys and maybe you want to trade with me. Oh, cool. I wish I had more toys to do trades with. I like trading zines with KD though. It's good stuff. These are amazing, as usual. I'm not surprised that I'm absolutely enamored with these. All the work that KD has done is incredible. Our next creator here, we've got two pieces. New friend met at this this recent zine party by the name of Flora. It was nice to meet them. Fair amount. There's a good mix of like new friends, old friends in this one. You can follow Flora at Cat Milk Remedies. We'll start with fragments of branding. So these are a lot. We may not read all of this. I think what we'll do out of these, so each of these, they're a poetry zine. We'll pick a couple of pieces from each one. Let's start with the very first one, since we're looking at our first one here, by the name of branding. No, so there's sort of, in each of these, there's sort of, I guess they're not, I guess it's not, some of these, they're more like poetry. But really, it's writing. It's indie writing. So let's start with branding. No, it isn't the job of marketing execs in tight black and white. It's that job that gathers the ranchers in their hands, converge like the Red Sea after Moses relaxed. These men got plaid tucked behind rodeo buckles on Wranglers, straw cowboy hats, wrinkled faces underneath, less wrinkled faces underneath. Sun's down when hundreds of calves stumble with new burn prints on their asses, pesticides in their fur, and ears dangling tags. Baby bulls, now testicle-free steers. Grumpy, wilted fruit, you wield the iron, red and angry, singeing smoke into the air, searing shapes into the cattle flesh. Him with the tight red balloon for a face, he's the ball cutter, the castratorial staff. He will be followed by a nephew or niece with a dripping nose and a sopping bucket, milk to catch severed nuts, the pink, purple, and white slurry to be picked, battered, and fried for the big meal. Those with homosexuals for sons, they'll be on horseback, rope high and a gloved palm tossed under and around the hind legs of the babies. Mooing moms will call through fence, but don't worry, won't interrupt the cutting or the burning. Rope and drag the kids to the steel maw of the trap, dropped around their skull, or restrain the calves the traditional way. The two wrestlers, teens, holding the calves down in moves illegal in the WWE. All calves branded. The boys congregate at the big house to gobble pulled pork on the white buns, and chug beers and laugh and all that. And all that time, can you imagine having your nuts removed out of the blue and having to try to get back to normal? A castrati with no audience but other castrati. The ranchers laugh and boast and tell stories and get close and listen to the new music of the field. Wow. Flora has a way with words. Absolutely. So when we're talking branding here, we're talking about handling cattle. Wow. That's that made my palms sweat. That was so as someone who's been to a couple brandings in my time, coming from rural Saskatchewan, boy, does that ever nail. I was not a rancher; I was a grain farmer, but I've been to a couple of brandings, a couple of those events, and they definitely left their mark on me. Not quite in the same way as they do on the calves, but it seared something into me. Wow, that's a hell of a piece of writing that we just went through there. I'm like, I'm shell shocked. That's covers it so well. Let's read the back of this one. I can't handle another one. It's bringing up memories that make I'm starting to sweat and my heart's starting to beat. Holy shit, Flora, that's good. Holy shit. These are a series of prose fragments assembled from memories growing up on a ranch in southern Alberta. The fragments follow a structure of jobs to do during the symbolic event of the branding, when a community of ranchers gets together during each spring to help a given cow boss in applying a burn of a copyrighted logo onto each new calf born. Brandings happen several times a year, one for each rancher who owns a significant amount of head, so a large herd of livestock. I definitely took liberties when representing the branding, mainly to get closer to how I feel reflecting on those times. Hope you enjoy. Flora, it's like you reached into my memory. Like I said, the brandings I've been to definitely like seared that into my brain. And it's like you reached into my subconscious, into my memory, and scooped it out. If I were to describe my experience in a branding, it is encapsulated right here. Holy shit. That's one of the most wild and accurate pieces of, even though you say you took some liberties with it, the experience of a branding, especially by someone who is maybe watching it rather than participating and turning off their brain about it and is actually cognizant of what's going on, you nailed absolutely the experience of that. I am rocked to my core right now. Let's move to all dogs must be on a leash. Let's read the there's an eccentric dog owner wrestles with the responsibilities of canine care. Oh wow, that's a provocative picture right there. Let's read. I think this has an ongoing narrative all the way through it. Let's read a like a selection. Where's a good place to start? It's tough to kind of come into this, but I'm gonna try to come into this like halfway is tough. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. Let's start here. Let's read this page here. I opened the door to my room, and there on the bed, a ripped up package of bacon, grease smeared the sheets. The bitch goddess lay there, the plastic caught in her fangs. I looked at blog posts all night. I watched every video by every dog breeder. I texted the dog's breeder. I got PDFs on dog training and sped through them all. I bought a clicker. I bought treats. I bought a special leash. I bought a whistle. I learned to whistle. Boot camp. As the spring rolled in and the dead grass poked through the melted holes in the ice, I trained the goddess. I got her stopping before crossing a road. I got her coming to her name. I got her sitting as I commanded. I got her remaining still while a hare trembled across the park. A glorious week. After that, I was able to get back to writing songs. I had to get her to be quiet while I practiced since she started to bark all the time. Okay, the winter was almost over, but it's fucking cold out. I insisted on the SHH command over and over, or the shh command, over and over, but eventually put her outside my room so I could hear myself think. Later, I opened my door, arm full of dirty dishes, and the bitch goddess had pissed on the carpet. Oh, she wanted to piss. I practiced with her for a whole another week. She started to respond, sort of, when I used the clicker as a reward. Hi, I said to my roomie when she got back from class. I sat with the goddess. The brown eyes skimmed over me and she muttered, hey, before going to her room. I saw a lot of that door closed. The stranger came over again later and they giggled behind the door. The last days of the semester were played with muted strings. I drifted from my classes, aching to get back to the pottery wheel, to the canvas. I would come home to the beautiful white dog, the blur of light, the Holy Ghost sweeping through my life. And she would look at me for a moment with her leaky eyes and then start to bark. Wow. Flora is a hell of a writer. Yeah, these ones are going onto my bedside table tonight and will be read through. So when I love getting these ones that are longer form prose because they end up on my bedside table, and then there's some great like evening reading to like bring myself down. And boy, I may not read fragments of branding before going to sleep, but oh my gosh, Flora, I am dumbfounded by these. These are incredible. Incredible. This might be the last one we do today. Let's actually finish here with Mieke, with Sublimations. Beautiful piece. Beautiful cut cover. Look at that. Beautifully hand lettered. Sublimations. You can follow Mieke off to my side there. Beautiful piece. Sublimations we make for three causes. The first is to make the body spiritual. Boy, that's a beautiful illustration. The second is that the spirit may be corporeal and become fixed within and consubstantial. These are beautiful illustrations, by the way. We're seeing actually quite a few things from the Calgary Sea Train. Recognize that? I think that's a... I'm trying to think which stations these are. I won't try and call them out. I'll probably get them wrong. Let's see, did I get the right page here? The third is that from its filthy original, it may be cleansed. Yeah, the detritus left laying on the platforms. The shadow and light, the positive and negative space in this is incredible. So sorry, I keep interrupting it because it's so well done. The third is that from its filthy original, it may be cleansed. And its saltiness, sulfurous, may be diminished in it, which is infectious. Then, when they thus together be freed from impurities, they will sublime up like the snow. That sight will greatly comfort you. For then perfectly you shall know. The spirits shall be so thrown down. Wow. Look at that. Spirits shall be so thrown down that this 8th gate shall be to you unlocked. Out of which many are shut and mocked. The text that appears in Sublimations is adapted from a modernization of the 8th gate from the 1591 edition of the English alchemist George Ripley's The Compound of Alchemy. This modernization was written by Adam McLean and can be read in full at this site here. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is really incredible. I want to get like a real clean look at that. The spirits shall be so thrown down that this 8th gate shall to you be unlocked. Whew. Whew. Mercy. Beautiful illustrations to a real beautiful piece of prose, a real affecting piece of prose. What great pieces. Yeah, we're actually gonna, I am, ooh, mercy. Those are great. We're going to do a 4th part of this, I've decided. Those were so good. I am like, I'm really touched by these ones. These ones are really incredible. What an incredible bunch of these are. So, boy, we're going to have so many great weeks out of this. We're actually going to get a 4th part of this one because I can't do any more of those tonight. Let's take a look at what we looked at tonight. We looked at Sublimations, hell of a piece from Mieke. We also looked at these two incredibly written literature zines, lit zines from Flora Booze. 4 powerhouse pieces by Katie Faulkner that have given me some things to get fixated on my own. And we did a little bit of flagrant self-promotion with the mini issues of Ganky. What a hell of a night. As always, Zine Party is my favorite zine-focused event that I go to. It's incredible. As you see here, some incredible pieces that you can pick up at these things. As always, if you liked what you saw from any of these creators, please follow them. Getting followers and having somebody reach out and say, hey, I saw your stuff and I loved it. Boy, does that ever keep a creator going. So don't be afraid to do that. Yeah, what a great piece. And we're going to get to these ones next week. We got some great ones as well. We've got 3 pieces from Bo. We got 3 more editions of Muddy, which I cannot wait to show you. We've got this incredible piece. Kevin Stebner, who runs Starry Dynamo, happening this weekend. He's a hell of a writer. He's had a bunch of projects come out this year. He's a powerhouse. We've got a new issue of One Dyke to Another to go through. And we've also got some zines. They're falling over, but they've got this I've got this awesome series called Learning to Listen, and this wonderful piece here from Riley, who was a new friend that we met. So we'll do these next week. so we can really give everything its due. Try and keep these to under an hour. So like I said before, I'm Charles. I love doing this. I love showing off the stuff that I pick up when I exhibit or attend these events. I will be at Starry Dynamo this weekend, seeing some of these same people there and a whole host of new friends. I'm going to have a whole stack of things to go through after that event as well. So next week we'll finish up Zine Party, and then we'll go immediately the week afterward to doing the pieces that I pick up from Starry Dynamo. So as always, this happens live on Twitch and then lives on YouTube. So wherever you're watching this, I really appreciate you. I appreciate everybody who's in chat. I see the people who there was a lot of talk about how great these ones were written. Flora, you should be Flora, holy shit. And all of these are amazing. Sublimations blew my socks off. These are amazing fanzines. And then I did some stuff. Thanks, everybody. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to do some more stuff. Thank you, as always, for attending the comXone. Like I said, this happens on Twitch, and then we play some games and stuff. This happens almost every Wednesday, not every Wednesday. Thanks so much, everybody. Join the Discord. You'll see when I'm streaming these things and what's coming up. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.